Greetings, greetings, greetings. Also, yo, why does everyone, every single time I start a stream, someone says late, and I'm like literally never late? This is all cap. Yo, what's going on, boys? I don't remember the last time I streamed. It feels like it's been a month, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like it's been a month. Howdy, I'm in a much more comfortable position than I was last time. I got this new cool mic that I'm using, so it's not my normal mic. So if I sound different, that's the reason why. But it has good enough audio quality in it where I can actually finally lay back in my chair and be fully relaxed. White power. Michael Jordan. Yo, I don't know why that name's making me funny, making me laugh. Do I still think KD is better than LeBron all time? Hell, well, no, I never believe that. I am preying on the Nets' downfall. I have been extremely pleased with the past three games in the Celtics series. Yo, what's up, Badger? Toddy the Grappler. Toddy, is that Toddy Toddy? James Harden makes me want to eat paper recently. The James Harden. I mean, I haven't really actually seen that much of James Harden slander, even though he deserves to be slandered. But I'm just winning. I'm just winning. Did I watch One Piece 1015? No, I don't watch the anime. Probably never will again. So that is an answer to the question. No, didn't watch it. Don't have any plans to watch it. I know everyone liked it though. That's what they've been telling me. At the same time, he keeps inviting you to his stream and whose DMs you ignore. Do I have a missed DM from you, Toddy? Shit. Yo, I didn't even check. Yo, my bad, bro. My fault, OG. Shit. LeBron beat the Celtics in 2018. Remember that, guys? He did. He did. Literally by himself as well. Obviously, they're actually. I would have to go back and check to see what the teams are like comparable to, because I mean, I've been seeing people use this on Twitter about how this team's so much better and the guys are younger, but that's not always correct. I would have to go back and actually check how good the team was compared to now. But LeBron did beat them by himself, so never forget the GOAT. Do you work on part two in the Downfall of One Piece? Yeah, I was yesterday when I was at work. I was working on the script. Why did my Bulls lose? Dude, the reason why your Bulls are losing is because a lot of the pressure is now on one person rather than a team effort. DeRozan just, I don't. Levine and DeRozan just probably aren't the kind of guys you want to be putting your entire lunch and bet on, in my opinion. Would you rather watch Spy Family over One Piece? Oh, that's an easy question. Obviously, yeah. No, I need KD and the Nets to go out like this. I need it. Yo, what's up, Christian? Too busy playing Elden Ring Tesla? Yo, shout outs to my background music. Round table hold, baby. Let's go. Yo, what's up, clans? Read Vagabond. Listen, Listen, Vagabond is on the list to read, but as you guys know, I have forbidden myself from reading other stories until I finish the Downfall series. But aren't you a mechanic? A mechanic? No, I'm in IT, bro. Toddy says, "Is it possible to split part two into smaller parts and upload it quicker? I need more ammo for Oda stands, and the weight is killing me." All right, so the plan for part two has actually changed over time. So originally, part two of the Downfall of One Piece was only going to be Dressrosa, and it was going to be at max an hour long. Uh, so I was planning on getting it out quickly, quote unquote, compared to when I started working on it. Now, obviously, I haven't worked on it in the past couple months, but a few weeks ago, I was talking to the boys. Shout outs to Christian Glam and Sen, but I was debating on whether or not I should do one or do like a whole bunch of arcs. And the boys have convinced me for part two, I will be doing Dressrosa, Zoe, and Whole Cake Island all in part two. When will Sen stop defending Naruto? This day will never come. What do you think of the original Berserk anime in the late 90s? Great soundtrack. As far as an adaptation goes, it's all right. I mean, for people that don't know, the budget for the '90s Berserk was literal dog shit. Had essentially nothing to work on, so a lot of it's basically still frames. But they did the most with what they had. It's not like completely bad. It's jumbled events, but in parts where it matters, it does a good job. Oh, Neptune Jr. What's up, big boy? Also, sorry I haven't responded to your DMs yet, Devil. I'll get around to it. Am I a software developer? No, I am a network technician. Whenever I was first going to college, I wanted to be a software developer. But then I realized when I was in college that I hate coding. So that kind of made me change my mind. A Dritz, a grease monkey. Hey, okay, hold on. There was a period in time where I was part grease monkey, Christian, right? Remember when I was that oil mechanic for like 3 4 months? Okay. Man needs another man to help him think. Dritz really is the backbone of the community. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm Emperor Dritz for a reason, all right? Put respect on my name. Christian, stop. How's my April been? I mean, it's been pretty good. I mean, it's been tax season's over. I did not have to pay anything. So that was basically my main concern for April. So I'm going to be buying more Yu-Gi-Oh cards with my money. Woo! Am I going to make a downfall of Naruto video? No. Naruto's been like beaten over the head quite a bit. I will never make a downfall video for Naruto. That's not worth the effort for me doing it. Now, at a later point in time, in an imaginary future where I actually finish these downfall videos, if I do begin to review other series, which is my intent to do, probably won't happen because I'm a fraud. But let's say that it does happen, I will probably revisit Naruto to give some thoughts on it. but that's like a million years from now. Do I think Luffy's attack last chapter is the final one? So I don't know. The answer I want to give is I don't know. When reading the chapter, everything in the story makes it feel like this. See, here's the thing: the dialogue makes it feel like this is the final attack, but the fight is very weird right now. Even the construction of the chapter is weird. I was talking about this last night with Christian briefly. Um, it makes sense for this to be the last attack, but in my opinion, I think it's very underwhelming and kind of weird in combination with the other events, like Orochi coming back just to be put down again, just the characters running around doing nothing. There's like no drama going on. So it's kind of weird. Plus, Kaido hasn't seen Momonosuke look like that bum Odin. There's like he doesn't have a flashback yet. There's all these weird things that we need to have done to completely connect the dots in the circles. But I suppose Oda could do that as Kaido's being defeated. But it would be really weird in terms of momentum for there to be a Kaido flashback as he's defeated, because it'd be a weird way for the narrative of the fight to go. I don't know. It could work, I suppose, but it's kind of weird. What does a network technician do? What does your work involve? Oh, asking personal questions, huh? Rick Sanchez. I mean, basically, what I do is I work as a part of a team that helps monitor and fix network problems that happen on devices and within routers uh, and switches and stuff like that. I'm not going to go into the details because part of what my work is classified, so I kind of have to keep under wraps. Also, coming back to a comment you had, Christian, it is true. It's hard for an R-rated thing to make money. Just if nobody dies during the raid, do you think One Piece should be slandered like Black Clover? All right, that's kind of a weird question because one, I don't really know much about Black Clover other than the fact that it's slandered, so it's kind of hard to compare something I have no context of. But I don't know. It's just because people don't quote unquote die in the raid doesn't mean that it needs to be fully slandered. Now, I do think it should be slandered, but not on the basis of there wasn't grand deaths. I find that's something that people kind of put uh, a lot of stock behind. Now, there is an issue whenever you do a million fake out deaths and then nothing happens. That's an issue, but just on the premise alone, death isn't mandatory to write a satisfying war arc, which sounds weird, I know, but I believe it to be true. Yu-Gi-Oh cards, buy some bitches instead? No, I'm buying Yu-Gi-Oh cards and I'm going to tournaments. That's the thing. I'm on the grind, baby. My Sword Soul deck would wreck you. It's too perfect. The tournament I went to last Wednesday, I beat two Sword Soul decks back to back, Toddy. So I'm like, fair enough. What about a downfall of Bleach? No, like the thing with like these downfall videos is that they're personal to me on a level that I'm not just going to do for every series. The only reason I'm even making a video like this for One Piece is because of my relationship with the story of One Piece. If I were to ever talk about other stories being bad, it would simply just be like a review of my opinions on the story. This is like more personal in a sense. So downfall isn't as applicable to other series, even Bleach, right? If I were to talk about the issues with Bleach, it would just be in a review of Bleach, talking about the story at large. What do I think of Attack on Titan's ending? I don't know what the ending is. I don't like. I've said this before, but I stopped reading Attack on Titan shortly into the time skip. So, I mean, I've been spoiled on it because I follow Fiji on Twitter. So I kind of get the idea of what happened, but I'm missing literally all of the context. So I don't really know. I do plan on reading Attack on Titan to see if I have the same opinions as like everyone else that I talk to has of it, but no opinion as of right now. How do I subjectively feel about Gear 5? Okay, good question actually, because I would have had to respond with I don't have like a whole lot to say in terms of like saying yes, it's definitely bad, because a lot of it is preference in this scenario. How do I subjectively feel about Gear 5? I don't really like it, to be honest. It's meh. I don't. For me, it's not hype. Uh, it's quirky, which is fine. Like it fits One Piece, but that isn't something that makes me excited. Like your typical person especially when it comes to meathead action, I like stuff that's a bit more raw and cool looking. That's just what I like. So as far as Gear 5 goes, it's meh. It's not moving me, as Naya would say. Let's see, Christian said, I was watching the anime last night, and I think Eric is right. Luffy needs to punch open the scar. Punch open the scar. Now that is interesting. Uh, well, what did the anime show, Christian, that made you switch up on it? What do I think of Kaido? Meh. I'm not really a big fan of Kaido, to be honest. I think that Kaido has potential to be interesting, but at this point in time, with where Wano is, I don't care enough about Kaido to remain invested in what's left of his character, because I don't like the way that his character has a dynamic with any other character in the arc. The only thing that's left is being interested in Kaido's backstory for me, which I am interested in. But as far as Kaido himself, I don't like his dynamic with Luffy, if you could call it that. Him and Yamato kind of sucks. Him and Big Mom was alright, but outside of that, there's really nothing left. So, meh. Kaido's not bad. Um, Kaido is an ambitious character to write for the arc of Wano, but I probably won't end up truly enjoying him as a villain. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, why does it keep scrolling to catch up? I'm going back, blah, blah, blah. Is the raid feeling? Absolutely not. Yo, what's up, phony? Have I seen Fighting Cowboys PvP etiquette video for Elden Ring? I have not. MathMex, ooh. I do not know how MathMex work, Kevin. I have seen it played a couple times. Mr. S says, "Hey Dritz, any plans for Berserk content near or on the 6th of May, considering that's when Miura passed? Perhaps finishing the joint discussion with Brago and the boys?" Uh, that made me sad just to read. Mm, Probably not is what my answer is going to be. The whole discussion stuff with Brago has probably run its course. I don't think it's ever going to happen. Braga's too busy now, and I don't think that he's in the same mindsets that he was before in terms of wanting to talk about Berserk. Uh, I know Braga hasn't even read the last chapter, um, so I don't know. Berserk content feels weird to put out, like especially on the anniversary. I don't even know if I were to make a video what it would be because that's no, I'm not gonna lie. When it gets to the 6th of May, I'm probably gonna be like just in my feelings. Um, I don't know if there's gonna be any video that I can even force myself to make at that point in time. What have I been reading lately? Well, nothing good. I'll have you know, because I have banned myself from reading things that I think I could get invested in until I finish making the videos. Then I can read things that I think I can have opinions on. But until that point in time, I basically just read slice of life stuff on the side and just crap stories, to be honest. Pornwa, Mean Glam, shoutouts. Yo, what's up, Kay? Were you hyped when you read Gear 4 the week it came out? Well, I had not been reading One Piece Weekly by the time that Gear 4 came out. So I saw Gear. Well, I mean, the thing is, but I got spoiled on Gear 4. But I was hyped whenever I read it the week that I read it in the manga, not the week that it came out, though. I caught up to One Piece during Zoe, the middle point of Zoe. Luffy grabbing lightning bolts isn't raw. I mean, it's not moving me, Devil, especially because he didn't do anything with it and he just threw it like a cartoon character. Um, it was like, whatever. Dritz, do you think there's an over fixation on people trying to find faults without anime slash manga? Criticism is understandable, but certain communities are almost cult like. I feel like part of that got spell corrected without anime and manga. But do I think there is an overfixation on people trying to find faults within stories? Yeah, I do because I think the it's become trendy to be a hater essentially. So it's for drama purposes. People love drama, so yeah, I do think there is an overfixation on it. Christian follows up to what I asked him, and he says at the start of the fight, Kaido says you are not strong enough to reopen the scar. He says in the manga as well. Oh, oh yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, I just kind of put that out of my mind after the Zoro stuff because he did leave a scar. Because I just assumed that was just in relation to the scabbards and blah blah blah. So I didn't think anything more of it. Uh, yeah, I guess so. I can see that happening. I suppose. Just is there any aspect in Wano that is better than Meh to you? No. I off the top of my head, there is nothing that I think is better than Meh in the entirety of Wano. Favorite Stormlight character? Oh, so just for update on Stormlight, I still have not read Rhythm of War. I still have not read it. I have been lacking on it, and I don't know, I just don't have the motivation to read it. But favorite Stormlight character would be Kaladin for now. Dritz, Morge seems fully convinced now that the raid will fail. What do you think? Well, the reason I haven't talked to Morge yet about this chapter, but I'm assuming that the reason that Morge thinks this is that the writing on the wall indicates that this is the climax, and I'm going to make the assumption based on how well I know Morge that he knows or gets the impression that if things ended right here, right now, then it wouldn't really be that good. So he's putting his marbles and faith into Oda for this to be the raid failing so that it can lead to something greater. That's going to be my assumption. Toddy says, "Have you thought about switching to novels? I switched from shonen a few years ago and literally can't go back." I mean, I've read books before, Toddy. No, I haven't ever thought about going full novel man, the novel fruit. Maybe at some point in time, but I don't know. One of the reasons why I like manga so much is that I'm a very visual guy. I love art and stuff. So I actually can get way more invested when seeing like the way that it's done and stylized. So that's why I have such like a preference for the visual medium. But I've always liked books. Hey Dritz, how do you feel about Elden Ring? It didn't beat it yet, but it's second all-time favorite game behind Sekiro. So obviously I've beaten Elden Ring. I've only beat it once though. I'm going to go through and do another playthrough at some point in time, but I think Elden Ring is a great game, although it's not my favorite FromSoft game. I've talked to Christian about this, but I do think that for me, there are some flaws in Elden Ring that do affect me wanting to play it again. Uh, and not there are flaws in all FromSoft games because no FromSoft game is perfect, and there are actually a lot of flaws in all of the games. Elden Ring is still one of my favorite games, but I actually would say that I like Dark Souls 3 still more than I like Elden Ring as of right now. But this could change in the future, but that's how I'm feeling at this point in time. Also, Didui, I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail, but in terms of your Griffith question, no, because I think that's actually based in reality. The entire what counts as a true friend, I think, is a discussion that is very, very important to what determines who you're actually really close with and what's the difference between an acquaintance and a true friend. That's something I feel that I felt. I know that Brago and quietly felt the exact same thing, especially during that speech with you know, an equal. Because can you be true friends with someone that you don't think is an equal? I think it's a good conversation to have. Yeah, what's up, Braun? How do I feel about the Nika fruit? Personally, not a fan. Now it's hype, but I don't like the way that it's been incorporated into the story. Personally, I think that it was fairly lazy. And part of it's just also just a preference where it's like I preferred Luffy not having a god fruit. But it could be a good thing in the long run in terms of the overall story significance. But I still don't like the way it's been incorporated into the Kaido fight. Didui asks, Dritz, do you like Luffy? No. Dritz, are there YouTubers whose story analysis you particularly appreciate? Excluding One Piece tubers. Well, I don't really have a whole lot of experience. I mean, like, I watch video essays and stuff like that, but that I particularly appreciate. Excluding One Piece tubers. I mean, I can't even like think of other people that I've really watched and can have opinions on that I really really liked slash appreciated. I feel like I'm probably out of my element when it comes to that because like like a critical analyst that I like, but I also think he's incredibly flawed, and I've begun to not like him as much in terms of the substance of what he says as I did before. But I used to enjoy watching Mauler, but not so much recently. I feel like he puts way too much emphasis on certain things that aren't as important to what makes a good story. Have I seen the Mihawk, Perona, and Zoro stories outside of the manga? If so, what are your thoughts? Have I seen them? No, I haven't actually seen them. I've heard about them, and I've seen like like in the magazine or whatever, like the story of Perona. That I once made a tweet about it. I said like that was like peak fiction, um, but I haven't actually read them. I don't even know if they're available to be read. I have not heard anyone talk about it, but if anyone knows if those are like around, I would like to read that one. Thoughts on Vinland Saga? I'm almost done watching season one of the anime. Well, I only read the first 16 chapters of Vinland Saga, but from the first 16 chapters, I did enjoy reading it. So I can't really give you a whole lot of analysis right here. Dritz, do you ever think you're too harsh on certain things? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like, dude, I find issues with things that I say all the time, Devil. That's why I try to proactively tone it back or think about things and ask people questions, especially compared to how I've been in the past, which is more in my feelings and kind of less neutral as I can be. But that's when I'm trying to make like a definitive argument rather than just my opinion on shit and stuff like that. Elden Ring suffers from two of Dark Souls 2's biggest problems: repeat bosses and way too many bosses. The only repeat boss, and this did piss me off. The only repeat boss that I really didn't like in Elden Ring was the Erd Tree Guardians. Those guys are gay, and part of the reason is that they really don't do anything for the game. Like they are literally just enemies at every tree. I was kind of disappointed that there wasn't anything cool at these trees. There's like no storytelling, like past the guardians. It's just like there's like a small Erd tree and boom, you're gone. You kill the guardian, you go on your way. That's the only boss I had an issue with. The other repeat bosses, I didn't really have an issue with. But that is not even my issue with my biggest issue with Elden Ring, which is what stops me from like replaying it over and over again. My biggest issue with Elden Ring is actually its open world. Mr. S says, Dritz, in your opinion, what does Spandam do that Orochi doesn't, which makes him a better villain? Is it solely the people around him that makes him more memorable, in your opinion? Well, I mean, there are a few factors at play. One is, yes, the people around him are better. I mean, Spandam was surrounded by CP9. But two, and this is the main thing, is that Spandam isn't put into the story to be something greater than just some guy you're supposed to hate. Orochi, unlike Spandam, is like an attempt at an actual character, and the way that Oda uses him is really, really bad. Like all of Oda's worst habits when it comes to like doing what he does with fodder and just like crappy side characters is like turned up to the max with Orochi. Horrible, horrible side plot and a horrible, horrible side character to go in tandem with Kaido and Wano. He's really bad. Spandam wasn't good, but Spandam also wasn't bad. He was just some guy that was there to do bad things to Robin so that she would hate him and then want him to get his comeuppance. He really didn't do anything other than that, other than be a buffoon, and that's completely fine. Orochi is an attempt at something greater, which is what makes him worse. Am I talking about Joy Boy? About what? Huh? What did I say? No. Huh? How would you rank Crocodile, Dofi, Aizen, Ulquiorra, Pain, and Madara? Well, how would I rank them? Well, I don't really remember Aizen and Ulquiorra that much. I'm also not really a fan of Aizen. I like Ulquiorra more than Aizen. But how would I rank them? Pain at the top, clear. Uh, Crocodile. Um. Hmm. Probably Dofi, Ulquiorra, Aizen, Madara. What do I think of CP0's incorporation into in Wano? Uh, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that roughly what everyone else thinks, which is that CP0 sucks. I mean, they're just kind of there, man. They're pat beving around. Uh, Ishmael Gundal, that's a raw name, says, Dritz, do you think we will ever have the same interest and discussion on One Piece? A lot of One Piece YouTubers don't stream a lot, like Brago, you every day talking about it. Well, I mean, there are multiple reasons for that, but the short answer to your question is no. I don't think the same interest and discussion will ever be back around on One Piece like there was in the past. And I think actually a lot of that has to deal with YouTube and people trying to game the system to get the most out of it so they can be successful. Um, I don't think it has as much to do with the discussion or interest in One Piece rather than people like myself, which is like I'm an outlier. But it's more or less to do with people trying to make something of their life and be successful. It takes a lot of time and dedication to constantly stream and do those long ass discussions that we used to do. It's not as profitable to do that anymore. Um, Plus, things have changed, and that's definitely a big part of it as well. Yo, what's up, Pirate King? Thanks for dropping by. Am I not watching the Babyface Assassin right now? Neptune, I'm streaming. Also, this is I didn't want to say this, but I agree with this. Mahler feels like he's become a caricature of himself. I agree. Tyler the Gobbler says, Dritz, do you think some One Piece creators feel forced to focus their content on it? What do you think will happen to them and their audience when Oda finally succumbs to Dimension? Oh, yikes. But do I think they're too focused on the content? Not. They're not. They're no. And I think the numbers speak for themselves. Now, I may not like it or enjoy it, Toddy, but this is just the way that YouTube works. They need to focus their content rather than just blank diversify it because it doesn't work and it's been proven to not work unless you're already successful. But there's a reason why they do what they do, and they have to do that in order to maintain an upward trend. Let me see here. Oh, shit. Dritz, what do you not like about the open world for Elden Ring? So, Tesla, the thing, and this is my biggest issue with Elden Ring, and me and Christian actually went back and forth on this because he doesn't agree with me. But this is my experience playing the game. The biggest issue I have with Elden Ring that makes me like grimace at the idea of doing another playthrough is the fact that I don't feel properly rewarded in terms of exploration. I don't feel like I get enough gain out of exploring the world and doing certain things that makes it fun to do it again. Going into the catacombs, going into the mines, and that's not all of it, but then that stuff is whatever. But just the way that the items and builds work is that I don't know. It feels a bit limiting. It feels like it's too close to the Dark Souls standard, that I don't think it works as well in an open world design. Where if you run around the world and like you go explore a plateau and your only reward for it is like the devs trolling you with a mushroom, or you get an item that doesn't work with your build, the next time you play the game, unless you're just purposely going through the areas just to do them again, you're just going to skip it because it doesn't help you. Unless you're doing a specific build that needs that item or something like that. So for me, it's not as fun to go through the open world and redo the same things over and over again because one, it takes a lot of time to do it, and two, I don't think it's very rewarding to do so. Dritz, isn't it hypocritical of Oda to bring Luffy back to life against Kaido when he's spoken against resurrection in anime and interviews? Well, the interview that you're referring to is this. The context is a bit different because it's not like I don't view it in the same way as what Oda was talking about. So I'm not really going to say it's hypocritical because it's one thing for someone to be dead for a small period of time and to be brought back to life than for someone to be like dead and then be resurrected in the manner that you think of when you look at it in your head. So for me, they're not really the same. Damn, you don't like Madara? Why is Madara last? Okay, so there are a few reasons for this. One, I never really cared about Madara. Like, Madara was a mythological figure that I cared about more when I didn't see him. But Madara, the character, I don't feel for. I don't think he has a single interesting relationship with any other character. I think that his relationship with Tree Boy, the first Hokage, I think that's meh. It was all right. But Madara takes a big hit because he gets fucking hoed, to be honest. Like, his character just goes and crashes into the ground when he gets hoed for Kaguya's sake. Outside of that, it's like, he's just kind of there. I'm not as interested in him as a character, and I think that Madara, all of how raw Madara was for the war on like his Kaido shit, it basically all means nothing to me because of how it ended. I don't care. Virgil Hawkins says, Dritz, have you ever seen a character that you thought was written terribly but was eventually fixed? Also, do you think it's possible for Oda to make Big Mom an actual character with agency again? Okay, so two questions here. Has there ever been a character that I thought was terrible, but when eventually became not terrible? Hmm. Damn, that's actually a really good question. No one's popping up in my mind right now. Let me give it some time to think. Character that I thought was terrible, but then made a comeback. Uh, See, this kind of applies to stories that are a bit more longer rather than just a character that is introduced and goes away in like the same arc. No, I can't really think of anyone. I know, there's definitely someone, but being put onto the spot, nothing's coming to mind. Also, so I'll answer the second question. Do I think that Oda can make Big Mom an actual character with agency again? Oda can make Big Mom have an agency again, but could he make Big Mom in totality become an actual character? I think the damage is already done with Big Mom. There could be points in time when Oda makes Big Mom interesting, but her legacy will be one of memeage. I don't think there's any way to do a complete reverse spin on Big Mom without actually making everything that came before worse as a result. Oh, you Froob. Froob says, I've heard the replayability argument against Elden Ring multiple times, but I feel for a single player game talking about replayability is a little pointless. Yeah, the replayability argument in single player games is always an interesting one, Froob, because it's not something that I put in like a whole lot of stake into, depending on the type of game that it is. Now, like I said, Elden Ring at the end of the day is still one of my favorite games of all time. So I'm kind of looking at things where it's like, well, what do I actually, what were actual issues for me? And I like to replay the Dark Souls games a lot because I think one of the coolest things about Dark Souls and Souls games is that the way that they incorporate the story and the lore in doing character side quests makes it a lot more interesting to go back, do different builds, and then try and finish and get different endings of the stories. For me, that's one of the greater parts outside of just doing the legacy dungeons and how great those levels are designed and fighting the bosses again to see how you do against them. But becoming more versed in the lore of the story through playing it in different ways is, for me, a great positive overall for the Souls games. Which is why replayability does matter for me in those games because I do want to learn more about the characters and go and find different things. But if I don't feel motivated to do that through another element of the game coming in my way, that's where for me the first playthrough experience it's going to be the most important for me. And I played the shit out of Elden Ring and loved it, but I know that playing it again is going to feel a little bit weird, which is why it's my biggest issue. It's not like the game goes from like a 10 out of 10 to like a 7 for me, but that is my biggest issue with the game. Yes, I will upload this stream, Superb Negro. Oh, Brago D Ace in the chat. Goddamn. How do I feel about Foam Red? I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really that interested in Foam Red anymore. I was because of the teasing of Shanks, but now I get the impression that Shanks really doesn't really matter in the story, and I don't care about Uta. So, I'm not as motivated to watch it. I may give it a watch now. Like I never watched Stampede because I didn't care, but I cared about Film Red because Shank's one of my favorite characters, so I was interested in him. But now I don't know. I may just watch a couple clips where Shanks is in it and then skip the rest of the movie. Phantom says, Dritz, I actually found Elder Ring second playthrough better after I had a better grasp on the lore. Oh yeah, I mean that's another argument as well is that playing the game a second time, the more you know, the more obviously the more things you pick up when looking at stuff, and that's a valid argument. But for me, and that's a good thing as well because I've actually been watching a lot of lore videos on Elder Ring recently, and I'm actually really invested into the lore because I feel like there's actually a lot more to the story here than what I've found in some other Dark Souls games or Souls series games. Uh, but I still have to say that I don't have as much desire to explore the map in the same way that I did before. Elden Ring's still one of my favorite games of all time, though. Goated. Have I played God of War? The only God of War that I've ever played is God of War 2. Um, and I don't think I ever finished it, to be honest. Favorite Stormlight book? Way of Kings, easily. Just play Breath of the Wild? Ugh. Yeah, I probably should, though. I probably should. Am I following the Depp versus Heard legal battle? Also, any tips for dealing with an abusive woman as a man in public or the work? Okay, that's a wild second question, especially for me. Am I following the Depp versus Heard legal battle? Following it? Not really. I see whatever's on the front page of Reddit. Also, for the second question, let me take a drink of water first. Any tips for dealing with an abusive woman as a man in public or the workplace? I mean, that's kind of a. It depends on exactly what's happening because the best way to handle something really depends on what that woman is doing. Have I seen the Batman? No, I still have not seen the Batman. Let me hear NBA predictions. Bucks versus Warriors finals. Did a $10 donation just get deleted by Brago? That is actually fucking wild. Oh, what was in the donation? Yo, I didn't even get to see it. Yo. I was going to go back and answer. Look at this. Tesla says, to be honest, Rich, I do agree with you on Elden Ring in regards to some of the dungeons being lackluster. I'd rather have more armored weapons or Ash of Wars than some mediocre key item to be the reward. I mean, it just depends. Like, I'm not like disappointed really with the dungeons. I mean, like they could have been better, but that's not like I'm not going to harp on it like a whole lot. But it is just an area that could have been better. I will say though, for me, Elden Ring probably has the best overall slew of bosses in any Souls game. Why just reading messages from like 10 minutes ago? Because I'm catching up to the chat, boy. Okay, I'm reading as fast as I can and answering. I'm not scrolling back on the stream. That's too much work. Did you hear Morge say Kinemon is a better written character than Law? Ugh. Why Morge capping? Zito says, Dritz Donation says something like, how do you feel about One Piece being the greatest and something about the structure of Oda's arc? Oh, yeah, that's cap. There's no way the question is, that was what was in there. There's no way. Do you think the world government not going after Luffy in a meaningful capacity the moment they knew he had the Gum Gum fruit is a plot hole, given what is said about the Gorosei going after it? I don't know about it being a plot hole, because obviously we need more information, but is it dumb? Yes. I think that's very dumb. It's one of the reasons why I don't like Luffy's fruit being the god fruit. Among all of the other reasons why you may be a bit meh about it, another downside of it is that the world government and the Navy already looked really, really stupid, and this makes it look even stupider than was ever thought possible. Especially for the people that are going to be the final villains. I'm reading as fast as I can, Young. Please. Am I playing Master Duel? No, dude, I don't like Master Duel. Master Duel, there's no like real format. It's just a bunch of cheese, and the way that the game works, I don't like it. I've always hated the Yu-Gi-Oh games in that sense, where it's like, it's draw phase. Would you like to activate a card? Standby phase. Would you like to activate a card? Main phase. Would you like to activate a card and a chain to a card, and a card and chain to a card? That's gay. He didn't say that. Oh, people capping on Morge, eh? Capping on my boy, huh? I see. You will suffer. Thoughts on the Eric versus Morge court case when he loses that bet? I mean, Morge is going to lose the bet, but I think that will be the least of Morge's worries whenever he loses the bet, Eric. That's a lie. He said he prefers Kinemon and Momo to Law, not that they're better written. I mean, there's nothing wrong with preferring that, although Kinemon and Momo are stinky. There's that. How do you feel about the future of Sora considering Drake's terrible performance? Not good. Not good. I mean, I don't really feel good about any of the world government in general, to be honest. Like CP0, don't feel good about them. Sword, don't feel good about them. Oh, my boy Fruit with a follow-up. I think one of the biggest strengths of Elden Ring was exploring the world and finding hidden areas, NPCs, and it made the game much more interesting because I played the game 95% blind. The fact that I can only experience that once doesn't detract from the amazing experience I had in my first playthrough. And I agree with you, Froob. But I mean, I don't know if you heard everything that I said, which is that, to recap, is that my first experience still matters more to me, and I will never forget that because I had fun exploring every inch of the map. Uh, but for the story of Elden Ring and how I want to replay it, the world does have a slight factor on that for me, which is why it's my biggest issue. And I still think the game's fucking amazing, especially in design. In terms of like the layout of the map, I think that the layout of the map is amazing. It's filled with a lot of environmental storytelling, but from a gameplay perspective, I think that parts of it are flawed. Why does the Midna theme play for so much in Downfall Part 1? Because it's just, it's a good background music. I didn't want to have to constantly be switching OSTs, especially ones that, like, differed in how loud they were. The Midna theme is, like, basically the same tune throughout the entire time, so it just ended up working for me. Best female Marine besides Hina? They all suck. Drit's favorite Pokemon and Pokemon games? I don't like Pokemon. I don't dislike it, but Pokemon's. I stopped playing Pokemon when I was like 8 year old, 8 years old, dude. Um, so I never like the last Pokemon that I played was Pokemon Yellow. So that should tell you about my reference and history with Pokemon. I don't know anything other than the first set of Pokemon, and even then I don't know all of them. What do I think of Fujitora? Fujitora is like my second or third favorite Marine. I do really enjoy Fujitora, which is one of the reasons why I really do not like Oda's choice to off-screen everything in the Reverie. One of the things I was looking forward to the most in the Reverie was Fujitora's moment, and he didn't get one. So that's very unfortunate for me as a Fujitora fan. Yeah, what's up, Christian? My favorite Ghibli movie? I have never seen a Ghibli movie. Plot twist, so I don't have a favorite. How would I feel if Luffy gets stronger when the sun comes out and he's actually nerfed right now? I don't think I'd care, to be honest, if that was the case. Do I think Kaido gets knocked out in the next chapter? No, I don't think so, dude. Uh, like even though it feels like it's near the end, I feel like it's just it just doesn't feel like it. So I don't think he gets knocked out or anything. Drit's top superhero movies. Obviously, Dark Knight. My favorites may actually be Unbreakable. Have I seen the animation for Lost Children? Absolutely worth going out of your way to see. I've only seen a bit and a piece of it. I haven't seen all of it. PPQ. Do I not see a problem with Berserk's vagueness? It went on for way too long, in my opinion. I don't know how these. That is a vague statement for me to give an opinion on. Toddy. Oh yeah, Logan. Logan probably my second favorite. I do enjoy Logan a lot, more than the Dark Knight. Probably more than the Dark Knight. My favorite's probably Unbreakable though. How would I rank the Berserk arcs? Uh, is this a question asking what are my favorites? Like how would I rank them from my favorite to least favorite? Was the new Spider-Man good? I don't know. I have not watched any Spider-Man outside of the Tobey Maguire ones, so couldn't tell you. Dritz, how many more arcs of One Piece are left before it finally ends? I'll go with 3. Infinity War? Yeah, Infinity War is really good. Um, I don't like it more than The Dark Knight, Logan, or Unbreakable, though. Would you expect Luffy to keep the Gomu Gomu title for all his attacks moving forward, even if he finds out about the Nika stuff? If he finds out, I think it's, would Luffy even find out about it? No, he'll probably keep Gomu Gomu. I think it'd save Oda a lot of trouble just to keep it. Also, opinion on Spider-Man 2 from 2004. He's all right. Spider-Man 2's all right. No, I have not seen the new Batman movie, Memento. I meant to go see it in theaters, and then I just kind of just like didn't do it. So I'll probably catch it on like some from rip from some site at some point in time. Yeah, I will be saving the stream. Favorite to least favorite Berserk arcs? Okay, so tied for number one. I still can't choose which one I like more. It would be Golden Age and Falcon Millennium Empire. Those so whatever 1 and 2 is, it's those two. Second would be, I guess it depends on whether or not if I'm allowed to separate Lost Children from Conviction. So yeah, shout outs to Jake and Sen, but it just depends. If if I am allowed to separate Lost Children from the rest of Conviction, then Lost Children would be my third favorite. If I am not allowed to separate them, hmm, that's tough. Then I would probably choose Fantasia. And then last would be Black Swordsman. Although Black Swordsman's actually, I'm a huge stan of Black Swordsman. As everyone knows who's talking about Berserk, it's I harp on how much I love the Black Swordsman arc. Glam's better written, Eric. Also, Fruitfall Falls Up says, yes, I understand because I had a similar opinion about the open world aspect, but I feel like while the game being open world might make certain aspects worse, it's overall good. I know it's not directly what you said. I just heard a lot of people say that their issue with Elden Ring was the open world. I've been watching and reading a lot of interviews, so I just assumed you had similar reviews. No. Mine's a bit different, I guess, compared to what people are saying in reviews. Um, because I have a different opinion when it comes to what people think is like quote unquote bad about Elden Ring. Like I know that Elden Ring, obviously most people love the game, but there have been a lot of already video essays on like how horrible certain aspects of it are, and I disagree with how people. Oh, but other than I just can't relate to how people think about the game where it's like horribly flawed design concept. The fighting in Elden Ring is not bad in my opinion. Like it was never ever an issue for me when I was playing the game. I never stopped and thought about how frustrating something was or how poorly designed it was. It felt just like every other Souls game to me. Like there was no difference whatsoever. Uh, and I played Dark Souls 3 like a dozen times and shit. So like I do not have any issues with the combats that I haven't had with any of the other Dark Souls games. And I know people were just really, really harping on that. And I'm like, yeah, no. No. Like, this is not, like... That's why I have to, like, narrow my issues with the game down to things that mattered the most to me. Because obviously I still love the game a lot. One of my favorites, but that's why I was talking about the open world, Froob. Is that, if I had to narrow down my biggest issues with the game, it would be... Well, actually, I don't know, because I forgot to talk about this. My biggest issue with the game is what I already said, Froob, but the second, this is kind of more of like a wish list criticism. It's not something that I think is like, yeah, it's shit, but it's just something I wished wasn't the case. I wish that the endings for Elden Ring were different than the standard or standardized endings that have been in all of the Souls games, which is you sit on a throne and then the camera pans out. Now I know that there are a couple that are different, but I kind of just wish there was a bit more, just give me a bit more to work with when it comes to the endings of some of these games, or some of like the roots. Would have liked that. Dritz, any guesses on how Oda plans on addressing fate? Are you optimistic? Uh, Funny second question here. Is Dritz optimistic? No, not at all. There are very few things in One Piece that I'm optimistic on. Fate is definitely something I'm not optimistic on. Dritz, what is that instrumental playing? This is Midna's theme from Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Dizzy. Dizzy asks, Yo Drizzy. Ooh, that's my boy right there. Do you think Spy Family anime feels kind of off? Opening and ending slap, though? I'm actually glad you said that, Dizzy, because I feel the same way. I don't know what it is exactly yet, but I don't know. It doesn't feel as good as when I watched it or when I read it. There is something that feels off, and it kind of feels like, now that I'm talking about it, I'm kind of going to put into two things. It kind of feels like the animation studio, as well as with the directing, and like, I know most of it's like a one-to-one, but it's like there are certain things that kind of feels like it's going too hard on trying to be adorable in some scenarios, which kind of put me off. But part of it is I don't know if like how the way that it's paced in the manga translates all that well into an anime. I don't know. It's a bit. I don't know. I do prefer the manga over the anime. I feel like Jake is written as a perfect ironic meta commentary on anime culture. Glam feels a bit cliche. Perfect ironic meta commentary on anime culture. Nah, see, but we catch Glam slipping though, Eric. All right, that's the thing though. We can't underestimate the fraudulence. Godskin Duo wasn't poorly designed for you? How? I didn't have an issue with the Godskin Duo. Like, I know that the God people hate the Godskin Duo, but I mean, I beat him in like 5 tries. And for my gameplay experience, I just face tanked him and then killed them both. It wasn't a frustrating fight for me. And there have been duo battles in Elden Ring before that point in time, and just in Souls games in general. I didn't get irritated at the game for it. I don't know. It could just be because I was doing the Colossal Greatsword route, but I wasn't frustrated or anything. Like, I don't know, man. I don't really get frustrated with games like Dark Souls that much unless I just can't figure out how to like overcome something due to my own lack of skill. There are a lot of things that for me it's just like, yeah, whatever. One of the things, this is something I actually like to comment on because I never had this issue or complaint with Dark Souls 3. Everyone refers to the Nameless King as like the boss battle against the camera, but one of the things that I actually like about the Nameless King fight is the camera, which sounds weird because everyone hates it, but there's an amount of skill in being able to actually utilize and move the camera so you can fight optimally. Like, Dark Souls made me, and I enjoyed this, it made me claw the controller so that I could use the camera and move around perfectly. And I enjoyed that as part of the fight with, like, the Nameless King is, the cinematic of moving with the boss, with the camera, and tracking him, rather than just pressing R3 and auto-locking onto him. It made me pay attention more by making me do things contrary to what the game was basically handing to me prior to that point in time. Do I watch Bleach? A long time ago I watched Bleach. Just thoughts on One Piece episode 1015? Didn't watch it. Froop says, can't get full opinion on the game because 200 character limit, but I think adding a quest log would make the game 5,000 times more enjoyable and accessible. The amount of effort you have to put into simply just understanding the story feels a bit over the top. I had to go watch lore videos after my playthrough to understand 70% what was going on. This will be a conversation that I don't think ever ends when it comes to the way that they try to do their storytelling. I don't actually disagree with you, Froob. I do think they could have done more in terms of making the story more in your face, because as opposed to like the other Dark Souls games, I think that it actually matters more in the open world attempt at the game when it comes to storytelling. Making the story matter a bit more than it does in the other Dark Souls games could have been something I would have made a higher priority if like I was the guy at the helm or something like that. Now, no matter what, in most Dark Souls games or Souls games, you have to go watch videos to understand 70% of the story anyway. But I do think that they probably should have made a better attempt at actually writing a more cohesive story to get the player more invested in exploring the world. And a quest or a quest log wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't be bad. What was the build for my first playthrough of Elden Ring? So, I basically did the exact same thing throughout 80% of the game, which was early on, I found like most people at level 14, I found myself in Caelid. And I was running around in Caelid trying to kill things that I couldn't kill, and then I found the Greatsword. And once I found the Greatsword, I leveled up my strength and dex until I could use the Greatsword, and I only use the Greatsword until I realized that I could power stance Greatswords, which was, shit. I mean, that was like really late into the game, like near. That might have been a little bit before Millennia. And then I power stance great swords, which was really really fun. Christian says, watching you science Millennia showed me how well the game was designed, in my opinion. See, I also like I totally agree with you, Christian. It's like you, I mean, like, you were there the entire time. I never once did I get frustrated with Millennia, thought Millennia was unfair. I was having fun at trying to figure out how to play Millennia optimally. She's a hard boss, but that's why I like her. She's not frustrating to me. It's like I knew for a fact, because I've played Souls games before, is that there is a way to do things better. You just have to find it. And I like that. Like, everyone complained about Millennia's spin to win move, and then I found a way to not take any damage from it. And that was fun. I actually had to work to get to that strategy. I just didn't go over there and face tank everything. Just, do you play Elden Ring with every mechanic or the purest way? I mostly the purest way. I just went in there and did the exact same thing I did in like Dark Souls 3, and I just grabbed the big sword and went to go hit people. Dritz, I think stories don't match with open world games because of pacing irregularities. I think it depends on the open world game, because I'll tell you, like, one of my favorite games of all time, Tales of Symphonia, I don't think there are pacing irregularities that affect the story of the game. For me, that's one of the best parts of Tales of Symphonia, is that the story is actually fairly good, along with just the characters being enjoyable. But I mean, I think there are ways that could have been improved for the. I mean, open world, as we all know, open world games are some of the hardest games to actually perfect. Froop says, yeah, I did my playthrough in 4 to 5 days, playing all day, so a lot of the story was relatively fresh in my mind, but I can't imagine someone playing a few hours a day being able to follow anything. Yeah, I mean, part of this is also, it's like, when it goes back to your previous comment about accessibility, Froob, part of me understands that, but like, as a, it's kind of weird, because as a Dark Souls fan, or like a FromSoft fan, part of me also it actually enjoys that they keep doing like the same things, and they're not always trying to go for a more accessible route, where it's like, yeah, we're basically not going to tell you what the story is, you have to figure it out, and then you have to like go group together as a community to find it, and use the power of the internet. Part of me likes that, and part of me also goes like, well, maybe they could try not doing that. So like, I'm kind of like in a weird stance when it comes to like figuring out the story, and whether or not they should keep or stop doing it to the degree that they do. Because I do enjoy it. You did use ghost summons. I did use ghost summons, Christian. But the second time I'm going to fight Malenia, I will not use Ghost Summons. Just I felt that way when I fought the 2 Crucible Knights. I've never min-maxed a boss in my life. I play my strategy in the millisecond. 2 Crucible Knights is a fun fight. I like that fight quite a bit. Just overall, what do you think of the God Hand? Are they your favorite antagonist group? How have they been dealt with? Favorite antagonist group? Well, that's kind of interesting because, I mean, it's also kind of hard to give a definitive... Because obviously Berserk's not finished. But as a favorite antagonist group? No, I don't think so. Obviously, some of my favorite characters of all time are among them, but they don't necessarily work as a group. Because, like, obviously Griffith is one of the best characters of all time for me. I think Void is amazing. Slan's cool. And Ubik and Conrad are just kind of there. But in terms of the way they're utilizing the story, I would probably still say I mean, I don't know if there's any group that still is better than the Akatsuki for me. Have I played Red Dead 2? I have not. Dritz, I remember, this is from Mr. S. He says, Dritz, I remember way back you said that Aang was a good representation of a Chosen One character done right. It is rejection of it, running away from a guild that do it for you, or something else. Well, it's just more like the way, like, the entire story of Avatar, like, one of the reasons why I really like Aang as a character is that the entire story is, from the beginning, essentially Aang confronting Destiny and then having to contend with it, and then the journey in doing that. Now, one of my biggest criticisms of Avatar is the way that the story kind of fucking answered like Aang's biggest dilemma when it came to completing his destiny. I still like it, but I think that they kind of cheaped it out for Nickelodeon's sake, which is something I just have to live with. But like I said, one of the issues whenever you have main characters, typically, it's not always the case, but typically one of the biggest issues you have with Destiny and stuff like that is that you have to actively incorporate it into the plot and have it contend with your main character for it to feel good for the audience. And Aang's probably, among all of like the series that I've read or experienced, is probably the best representation of like an enjoyable Chosen One protagonist contending with Destiny and Fate. Controversial opinions, says Virgil Hawkins, but I don't think the Akatsuki had interesting dynamics among the group, excluding maybe Nagato and Conan. Well, I think Itachi and Fishboy wasn't that bad, and well, it's like this. I don't know. There were dynamics among the members of the group, but it's not like the group as a whole had a dynamic. It's like the partners that they had that had dynamics, and I don't think that's necessarily a controversial opinion. But the way that the group was presented and utilized in the story as a group is something that I still don't think any other, especially for like a manga, I don't think any of the mangas come close to. I think there's a reason why the Akatsuki are so legendary in terms of, like their symbol and what the way people remember them. They all had double dynamics, not like necessarily a group from top down dynamic. Also, Froop says, I understand your point, but I feel like adding a quest log will literally just be a quality of life thing with almost no downsides. They don't have to dumb everything down like in other games where they point you directly to the quest objective, but something I can look at to remind me of certain tasks or story points would only be positive. I agree with you. I agree with you, Froob. To be honest, I do agree. And I'll relate this to my own experience with Elden Ring, actually. I don't know if this happened to you, Froob, but numerous times during Elden Ring, I would meet an NPC and like want to continue their quest line, but then as I progressed the game, I actually forgot about that person. And then by the time that I remembered them, I had gotten to the point in the game where basically you kill everyone, and I'm like, well, shit, I can't do anything. So a quest log would have helped me. Dritz, how do you feel about Deku as a chosen one? Shit, I mean, I haven't really read My Hero in a hot minute. I mean, I don't really like Deku to begin with. Um, but I don't know if I can really comment on his chosen one thing because I don't really know. Like, I can't even talk about like the plot like that. So, I mean, there are multiple things that could have been done, Mr. S. But like, the point is that like you ran away from the answer and put in quite literally a Deus Ex Machina in place of it, and it's like I don't even think that option you suggested would be as good. Like just just doing that, but like just some answer where Aang has to come to it himself and go through with it. I also think that in doing that, it would have made the actual ending scene of Avatar that much better because the ending scene, if you look at the facial expressions, and this is the thing that I get every single time that I watch the ending scene of Avatar. Fun fact: I just watched like a group of people live react to Avatar, and like I watched their entire live reaction like a day. I fucking love Avatar. Um, but in the final scene of Avatar, when Aang walks outside and like he has like a unique expression on his face and he just looks up into the sky like the job's done. I feel like when he's like somewhat like trying to come to peace, that would have been a great way to like him having come to his answer and dealt with the consequences of his answer, sacrificing his own well-being and then seeing it play out in the world. Um, Man, that would have been perfect, perfect. Also, I agree, Sen. Sen says, people that didn't see it, Akatsuki is good because of each pair dynamics, while the Phantom Troop is good because of the collective dynamic rather than the individual. Um, that is basically true, although I do think the heart and core of the Phantom Troop ultimately ends up with Nobunaga and shit, what's his name? This is actually gonna fucking annoy me. Let me look it up real quick. I don't want to. What the fuck is his name? Uvogan. I don't know why I forgot his name. Uvogan. Yeah, well, I put a lot of work into those chapter reviews, BO. I'm glad you liked them. Hot take. I am not really a big fan of the Royal Guard. Never was, never will be. Neptune says, I feel like the conflict of for Aang was kind of manufactured in the first place. No reason they couldn't take the Fire Lord prisoner like they did Azula. No, I mean, you're kind of right, Devil. Although there are ways that they could have written it to be the case. and including Inzula as like the reason why like it could have been different because Azula was like defeated mentally and wasn't going to fight back essentially at a certain point. Where with Ozai, he could have been the point where it's like it's literally there's no choice but to kill him. You probably talked about it a while ago, but how do you feel about Korra? I mean, I didn't talk about this in this stream, but I've talked about it in previous streams. But everyone knows that I think Korra is trash. I really, really hate Korra. One of my top three One Piece and Naruto arcs. One Piece. It probably will still be Marineford. Water 7 and number 3. That still might be Arlong Park for me. Naruto Pain arcs in the top 3. Sasuke retrieval. And third. Hmm. Mm, I don't know what the third one is for me. Just aside from Void, do you care about seeing the other Godhead members come back into the story? Slan. I care about Slan. But as far as Ubik and Conrad go, no, not really. Don't care. No, I don't think the new Avatar series will be good. Which is worse for you, the ending of Monster or Wano? Well, Wano's not over yet. Which is worse overall? Easily Wano. Opinions on the Chunin exam arc, including Konoha Crush, because splitting them makes no sense. I mean, Chunin exam's pretty good. I've always liked the Chunin exam, although I never held it into the same regard as what a lot of other Naruto fans are, which is like they put in like their top 3 arcs and stuff. I like the Chunin exams, but I don't think I like it that much to put it in my top 3 Naruto arcs. Fated battle between brothers? Yeah, yeah, probably. Are the Nets getting swept? I hope so. I hope so. I need KD and the Nets to lose. I'm sorry. I need it. That's Kino. Pito was the coolest ant besides Meruem. Yeah, that is so ironic. Pito is my least favorite of all of the guards. Marineford or Pain? Oh man. Probably Marineford. Probably Marineford. Dritz, how do you deal with the inevitable realization that all media in the future will suck more than the stuff we were fortunate to grow up with? I find myself struggling with optimism these days. I mean, this has kind of been the case even for like the generations before us, dude. That's what people thought. How do you deal with it? I mean, you just appreciate the things that you already have, I suppose, would be the best way to deal with it. But there's always going to be a few exceptions to the rule, dude. There's always going to be a few series that have true innovation and love behind it, and those are the ones that you stand. I don't think it will ever permanently go away. There's always going to be ambition to create good stories. You don't like Pito? It's not. I don't like dislike Pito, but I was never a big fan. Like Pito was like whatever. I was kind of like, yeah, meh. Not as interesting as any of the other two ant guards for me, and just not really anything happened with Pito. Like I probably would have liked Pito more if the kite fight wasn't off screen, to be honest. But outside of that, I mean, Pito doesn't really do much, and then just we have the whole thing with Gon, and that's kind of like it. Yo, what's up, Cliff, man? Life's going good, baby. Can I rank the gears from best to worst? Yo, what a bizarre ranking. Well, at the top, and I don't think this should come as a surprise. Gear second is easily my favorite gear. After that, probably Gear 4 Boundman. Um, uh, I mean, I don't even really like Snake Man, but I guess Snake Man would be third. Um, hmm, I guess right now it's between Gear third and Gear fifth. I would choose, I guess, Gear fifth, Gear third, and then Gear fourth. Fat Man would be last. So in summary, it'd be Gear second, Bound Man, Snake Man, then Gear fifth, then Gear third, then Fat Man. Just I watched some episodes of Monster. Is it really good? I thought it's meh that the villain is revealed early on, or will it become better afterwards? Hey, listen. You don't want my opinions on Monster, all right? But most of it is good, Phony. Trust me. Most of it is pretty good. How do I like the Spy Family adaptation? It's all right so far. I wouldn't say it's amazing, personally, but I think it's good. Will Zoro wake up and kill Kaido? Oh, Jesus. Please, no. Jordan or LeBron? Probably Jordan. Have I read any of the Itachi Light novels? No. No. I don't indulge in anything other than what was the manga, basically. Thoughts on Ben Simmons? Sad. Do you think Oda missed an opportunity for having Tank Man fight Big Mom? I don't even know if I would even call that an opportunity, to be honest, dude. Is that an opportunity? Is it? Thoughts on JoJo? Haven't read it. So no thoughts, dude. I plan to read JoJo for the culture, but I don't have any thoughts on it. I don't think I'm going to enjoy JoJo as much as the average JoJo fan does, but I think I'll end up thinking JoJo's solid. Do I think Kai's gonna dodge Luffy's punch with Future Sight? Nah. Who do I like more, Rani, Fia, or Melina? Rani. Rani Simp, baby. Oh, yes, the Johan slander video is still in the pipeline. What is the best season? Fall. Fall is the best season, objectively. I don't want Zoro to kill Kaido for a lot of reasons, but do you think you'd personally enjoy Wano more for the novelty? No. Absolutely not. Do I have a Discord? Oh my gosh, this is the first time someone's asked in like years. Hold on, wait, I do. Let me make a link. Who's gonna save Hiyori? Thinking Denjiro? Yeah, probably. Fucking Denjiro and Hiyori, dude. Apparently, Johan ruined Monster for Dritz. I mean, a lot of characters helped, contributed, but Johan is definitely the biggest offender. The Johan slander video will get more backlash than the One Piece stuff. People, yeah, I know people love Johan, dude. But you know, I mean, it's gonna have to come, bro. How would you feel if Zoro wakes up all of his swords have turned black? That would be the peak garbage that I've been waiting for. Why do you have Jordan above LeBron? I mean, it's mainly just the story, and I mean, mainly just the story. I think LeBron's actually a better player than Jordan. I also think that there are a lot of things that Bron made more mistakes compared to Jordan. Jordan got lucky in a lot of situations, but that's just the way that it kind of goes. I still think LeBron could prove himself to be better, although I don't think it's going to happen. But Jordan basically just has less blemishes, more opportunities of just being the best. I don't know. It's an era difference essentially. It's not even the whole 6-0 thing. It's just Jordan never really fell from grace or had a whole lot of bad things going on. I think LeBron played in a tougher era and still managed to be the best for the longest period of time. But I think it's just hard to overcome Jordan's shadow. It's hard to get a story that perfect. Also, that's true, Sasha's Lord. Sasha Lord says it's crazy how people are hyping the anime, but at the same time they dislike the way the manga's going. That's how it is, baby. Yo, what's up, Ahmed, man? I'm doing good. Have any Wano predictions? Yo, I can't tell you the last time I even really thought about Wano like that to even have a prediction. No, I don't really have any predictions. Like, I haven't really been thinking about Wano like that. I've just kind of been more just waiting for the answers. Because there's really nothing to think about rather than just, okay, is it going to end here? Blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, no real predictions, to be honest. Bunch of people just joined your Discord. What's going on? I guess people clicked on the link. Will I ever read Magi? I actually did read most of Magi a long time ago, but I stopped shortly after the time skip, I remember. I never finished it. There's no timeline, BL. I want to call you Boys Love, but I'm not going to. There's no timeline for it. Wizards Jordan was quite the fall from grace, no. But like here's the thing, even with Wizards Jordan, he got hurt a lot. I don't really hold the Wizards really against Jordan, and I don't really think it's not really a big deal, dude. He was older, went to the Wizards, it failed, whatever. Got hurt a few times. He still had some really good games in the Wizards, but he was just older at that point in time, so that's fine as far as I'm concerned. Well, Ishmael, the truth of it is that, like, what One Piece fans do in terms of defending and then standing their series is nothing new. You go to any fandom, 99% of that community is going to act and behave in the same way that One Piece does. The reason that One Piece stands out above other fandoms in this scenario is that One Piece is just way more popular. So the larger a community is, and sometimes the smaller a community is, the more toxic and bad it seems on the outside. No, I will not be doing live read-throughs whenever I start reviewing series. That will significantly shorten the amount of what I'll be able to do. What was the deal with the Roger Hockey tangent? It led to nothing and came out of nowhere. I mean, it could relate to Kaido's history as we know it. What are my opinions on the Zoro was racist meme? I mean, it's a fine meme. I've no issues with it. Do you agree with Skip Bayless that Jordan now can beat LeBron in a 1v1? We know Skip doesn't believe that. He just says that to suck Jordan's dick. Did you review Gantz? I also watched the Berserk Netflix adaptation with the free movies, and it's not really that bad. Just skip some things. Um, Did I review? I mean, I haven't read Gantz yet, but if I read Gantz, I would review it if I was doing like review videos. Am I excited for Vegapunk? I don't think I've ever been like even whenever I was like doe-eyed for One Piece, I don't think I was ever excited for Vegapunk. It's just something that I knew was going to happen. I don't know if I really have any reason to legitimately be excited for him. We'll see though. The Oda has the opportunity to surprise us with Vegapunk, but I can't say I'm excited for him. Dritz, do you think Kaido's already awakened? I don't see Oda skipping something like that. I mean, yeah, I mean, I assume that he's awakened. Like, I don't think I think he's fully mastered his Devil Fruit. Now, if you're asking, have we already seen Kaido awakened? I hope not, but it's probably going to be the case. Yes, Amado. If One Piece magically, and it would be magic, if One Piece magically got better in my eyes before I finished the Downfall series, would I still go through with it? Absolutely. How does Wano end, in your opinion? Um, I'm obviously with Kaido being defeated. I think there'll probably be a big party. There will be some reveals. We got to read the poneglyphs, and then something happens that forces the Strats to go to the next island. A plan, whether it's the poneglyphs or another group coming in chasing them away from Wano or something like that. I wouldn't be so sure. I think this could have been Kaido's awakening the entire time. We don't know. Where does Luffy rank for you in power right now? Ugh, I mean, I don't really care about power scaling in One Piece anymore. He's somewhere in the top 10. It is hard to scale Luffy just because of the way that Oda writes Luffy's fights and how many asterisks are always in there. But with his powers, he should be in the top 10 easily. Also, Brian, no, I have less interest now than I did before the trailer. It's my even I don't I obviously I don't think it's Shanks' real daughter. I think it's just some girl that he found along the way and became like a father figure too. If it did ended up being Shanks' real daughter, I would actually be mad. Man, there is a baby outside of my townhouse just crying. Yo, they are going ham right now. Dritz, who do you think is most likely to join at the end of Wano, unless you don't think anyone will? Um, See, the four Nakama discussion has become pretty weird because I no long. I mean, I would actually be really, really against it. But I think obviously I've made a video about it, but obviously I don't think Yamato is going to be a Straw Hat. I think Momo has disqualified himself. I don't think Oda's going to go that direction anymore. And who the hell cares about Carrot? But I could see Carrot potentially joining just as a throwaway addition. But it would certainly be very, it would be odd. But yeah, I don't know. Momo's in a weird spot. I think he's been disqualified in being a crewmate. So I guess right now it'd kind of be either Carrot or nobody. Dritz, where do you think Kaido is in the top in Power Skill ranking? Top five. Please bring back the reviews. No, the reviews aren't coming back, baby. Dritz, what do you think of King's One Piece takes in general? Mixed. Mixed. I think there are points of time where King is very, very sensible, and there's times where he's not. How would you feel about Vivi joining the crew post Wano or don't care? Now that would I would be down for that as part of like a plot line with Vivi and Alabasta and the fallout of the Reverie and the only people we should go to is the Straw Hats. If that somehow happened, I would be for it because I really, really like Vivi in tandem with the Straw Hats. What if Momo is reverted back to 8 years old somehow? Well, it was said to be impossible to revert, no? So I don't even know if this is like a situation that we can even be entertained anymore. What disqualifies Yamato? Well, I never thought Yamato even had a chance of joining. How mad would you be if Yamato joined? I mean, I really, really hate Yamato. Probably one of my most hated characters in the entire story at this point. But I don't know. I probably wouldn't be that mad to be honest. I'd just be like, well, whatever. This is One Piece at this point. So wouldn't actually be that mad. Why did Oda have Paraspero and Marco team up and then do nothing? The anime do have done. Anime is gonna go crazy, but no reason. We know this. What's up with all these trash One Piece games coming out? Like, can they come out with a fighting game, or is that too much to ask for? It's too much to ask for. They put those games out to make money, not to make good games. Who do I like more, Naruto or Sasuke? Hmm, good question. For the longest time, I liked Naruto more, and then there was a period of time where I liked Sasuke more. Um, and then there was never really a conclusion to that because obviously I really hated how Naruto ended, and I never came to the conclusion of the who do I like more between them. For me, they're very close, but I don't know. I don't know. I'd probably have to rewatch to confirm. Did I like Jinbei in the new color spread? He was whale on the beach for sure. I heard that I'm better written than Jake. Oh, of course. You're coming here to get gassed up, Glam. I'm always willing to gas up my boys. You know that. What do you think of Orochi as a character? Does he play his role well? No. In my opinion, I think Orochi's a horrible character. You should watch episode 1015. Not going to. Have I watched Breaking Bad? I have not, although I've been told to watch Breaking Bad. Obviously, it has a great reputation. What's an example of a cold take that is not sensible? Well, basically, think about Cole's biases and then some of the things he said to promote those biases. Would you put Aokiji over Kaido? No. Wano or Fourth Great Ninja War? Uh, we'll see how Wano ends. We'll see how Wano ends. I do need to get on Rhythm of War. I just have not done it yet. Nah, nah, Glam. I got you. I'll gas you up. Glammy whammy. Which dynamic is better, Luffy and Ace or Naruto and Jiraiya? Well, the Luffy and Ace dynamic is carried by the ASL flashback. Um, Naruto and Jiraiya. Hmm. Let me think for a second here, actually. Damn, okay. I'm gonna stop thinking about it because it's gonna lead to too long of me thinking. So I don't have an answer right away though. One Piece Odyssey is the first AAA One Piece game though, and it's probably. I mean, listen. You got high expectations for real? I have not watched JJK Marcos. Orochi is basically a poorly done version of Naraku from Inuyasha. That is kind of spitting, kind of spitting. Not gonna lie. When you gonna read Chojin X Aniki? Chojin X Aniki. I read that as all one thing. Jesus Christ. I probably will read Chojin X Sen, just because obviously I'm not gonna review that and it's not a whole lot. I can actually read Chojin X, so I will. I promise you, I will. Actually, I will read it within the next 48 hours. Then that's a promise. Damn, Jits, you really like the fourth great reanimated war? No, I do not. But Wano was one of the worst things I've ever had the displeasure of laying my eyes upon. So that's why it's close. I need to see how Wano ends before I can say which one I think is worse. Just got to go work out right now, but let me just say it's great to see you're still doing this. You're truly unique in this world full of Oda ass kissers in the One Piece community. You even censored ass. Have a good moment. Yo, see ya, Brian. I'll catch you later, man. What is he cooking? You see Luffy going for the sneak attack on Nami? I did. What I think of the new Luffy form, fruit retcon, and how the world government suddenly remembered everything. Not a fan of any of those three things. What's your favorite Ninja War moment? Mine's probably Itachi's goodbye or Dark Naruto. Itachi's goodbye. I was actually testing myself like a month and a half ago. I went back and rewatched that scene, and it still puts me in tears. So that scene is very, very powerful. Itachi Goder. We all know this. It's undeniable. Only Glam would deny Itachi Goder. Who is the best One Piece YouTuber? I don't care. I don't watch any of them. Which had higher highs, the fourth Ninja War or Wano? I mean, easily the fourth Ninja War had higher highs. Is Kubera on your to read list at all? Yes, it is. Kubera. Shoutouts Kubera. Shoutouts Naya. Shoutouts Kako. Kubera is on the to read list. KG says you need to stop playing and watch Gintama. Yo, yeah, no, KG, is this a joke? Like, do you this is a joke, right? What do I think of Obito as a character? Whatever I thought of him in the past was made completely irrelevant by how shit he was handled. Who would win on a 1v1, Katie or LeBron? Uh, I mean, anyone could win that one on one. It's not like there's a definitive outcome for any one on one. Basketball is very just you know hit or miss. I think any player could basically be any player in a one on one, depending on what kind of day they're having. And at the top level, it basically becomes like impossible to stop people. I think anyone can win that. Dritz continuing with the question: do you think Luffy having this Nika connection ruins his agency as a character? The whole thing doesn't sit well with me. Well, Luffy didn't have agency anyway. But does it ruin it? Not yet. No. We need to see. This is still something like part of this is Oda needs to be able to handle it. And we haven't gotten to the point where Oda's given us an answer to it. So we actually, I mean, for me, I can't come to a conclusion. It can not sit well with me, um, but I can't make a definitive conclusion on how it was incorporated into the story until I see how it's actually incorporated into the story. So, it's kind of, but I'm just trying to mention Gintama. KG, I tried watching the anime for Gintama before. I couldn't get past the first three episodes. I tried reading the manga. I could not get past chapter 16. I'm sorry. I know people love Gintama, but I just don't think that series is for me. Just you play? Can you play ball? I can play basketball. Am I good? No. My best skill as a basketball player is probably my ability to pass, to be honest, and that should tell you enough. I'm a good passer. Favorite Hunter x Hunter character? Probably Hisoka. I think Hisoka is like the thing that makes Hunter x Hunter like stick long. Like oh god, he is so fucking sick. He's like a great villain, great antagonist character. Yo, you already know, Mo. Yo, it's going up. Jits, what made you dislike Ray Zero? Oh God, a Ray Zero question. Oh my lord, my brother in Christ, as they say. What made me dislike Ray Zero? Well, this is all anime related, mind you. I don't read the light novels. I don't read the web comic. This is all the anime. I think that the way the anime handled the story, I don't know if it's different or if it's the same, but for me, it was complete and utter ass cheeks. The story sucked ass. The character writing sucked ass. It made me furious. And as a former Ray Zero stand, it's I oh god, I was so down bad. Jesus. As anyone could tell you, man. Oh god, fuck. It pissed me off so much. Everything about it. Everything. Fuck Otto. Did I see the One Piece today? Nope. Just to be honest, the start of Gintama is mid. I actually dropped it once and became a hater, then gave it another chance, and here we are on the 60th scene where I mentioned Gintama. Yeah, I mean, I know, but like, dude, it's like one of those things where it's like, I know that eventually there are like things that I might like in Gintama, but I have been told this numerous times, and I felt it when reading it, is that if I don't find the comedy funny, which I don't, then Gintama is going to be rough for me, and the comedy in Gintama does not work for me. So I think it's probably best that I just take my L there. It's just not my style. Is The Way of Kings the beginning of its own series or a continuation of something else? Beginning of its own series. What's my vertical? 2 inches. Would you rather read Gintama or Baki? I would rather look at the pages on Gintama oh god, to make my eyes suffer and look at Baki. So Gintama wins. Just, I think I remember you saying that a good romance can elevate a story. Do you think that you prefer a good romance over a good friendship? Hmm. What do I prefer? A good romance or a good friendship? Hmm. Damn. Okay. Fuck. That's actually that's another great question. I'll say good friendship because I think that there are like things that would prefer, but I would say for the average author, a good friendship is usually something I'm going to prefer over a good romance. Although I can't say there are many good romances that I've actually seen, so there's that. What's for dinner? Probably some chicken nuggies. Do you like Blackbeard? What are your thoughts on him going forward? Yeah, I like Blackbeard. I'm not crazy about Blackbeard like like Jay is or something. But I think Blackbeard's cool. Obviously, his time to shine is going to be in the future. He'll finally start to be able to actually do things and be a more present aspect of the story. So who knows where that's going to go. Um, but yeah, I like Blackbeard. Who is one person you want to meet IRL? Tom Holland, man, my goat. What do you plan on reading after you're done with the Downfall videos? Um, what is first? Let me see. Vagabond is probably going to be the first series I read. Who is the funniest One Piece YouTuber? Uh, who is the funniest? I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of peaks here. We got Benny, we got Braga, we got Jay. That's a lot of comedy. Let me see here. I think I missed a few questions. Let me go back and check. Would you like for other mangakas to do redraws like Murata? No, no, not really. I don't even like that Murata does redraws. Um, yeah, So I don't know. Like redraws really shouldn't be necessary, to be honest. Like unless you like really fuck up or something, I don't really think redraws are necessary. I don't think there's any redraws for what Murata's done that has outweighed like the couple times where I've seen a redraw from Murata and been like, I really wish he didn't change that. What mainstream shonen manga has the best romance? Okay, that is a weird category. Mainstream. Jesus Christ, I gotta go to Google. Mainstream shonen manga. Let me see here. Hmm. We got no winners so far. God damn. Okay. Huh. Uh huh. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Let me see here. Oh, catching up with the comments. Let me see. You think One Piece can get better for you after Wano, or you have no hope? Like I've said before, um, I'm done believing in things for no reason. I have a decade's worth of evidence to make me not just blindly believe, from my perspective, that things are magically going to get better just because I hope that they are. Where I'm at with One Piece is that Oda has to prove to me again that he is able to, do things that I enjoy. So no, I don't have any hope. I need to see it to believe it. What about the Boichi redraw of Nami versus Khalifa? No, get no, hell no. Redraws suck unless it's there just to see how the author improved, like Ishida redoing chapter one in his Ray style. The answer is Merom and Kamugi. Oh, I wasn't really thinking about it like that thing because that's like an arc romance. I guess maybe that works. I was kind of thinking more like a series romance, but I guess that might work. Yeah. Who is my best shonen girl? Man, I don't even know if I have one anymore, bro. I don't even know if I have one anymore because before it would have been Nami, but that's not the case anymore. Um, yeah, dude, I don't know. It might be a Fullmetal Alchemist character, to be honest. I'd probably have to sit down and think about it, but yeah, I don't know if I really got a shonen girl anymore. What group did you watch react to the Avatar? Hold on, I can actually tell you. I liked one of their videos because actually one of the reasons is that these people seemed like they were looking at things a bit differently than I've seen most people do, and I actually quite liked it. But LM reactions. What's one of your favorite builds in Soul games you like to go? I just like to go big sword build, bro. I love. I know people have called it simplistic, but I actually really do like the fighting system in the Souls games. I just like getting a big weapon and going in their anime style. It's very rewarding for me. What if that humanity plotline involved a turtle glam? Who was the most popular person I've met? Most popular person I've met? Like that I know or that I've just met? One Piece isn't gonna magically get better for you, Jits, but there will be moments that will make you excited post Wano. Oh yeah, I'm not denying that, but it's like One Piece is getting better for me. Like that's not a hope. That's just like a yeah. There's probably gonna be a few moments where I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Who are your favorite anime reactors? Um, I mean, I really like Uzumaki Khan, Uzumaki Goder, as we know. I mean, I don't watch him anymore because I don't fuck with One Piece like that, so I don't watch the One Piece live reactions, and I don't really watch any of the shows that he's live reacting to, so I don't really watch the live reactions like that. But I don't really watch any other. I don't really like any other anime live reactions like that. I'm surprisingly, I am very actually not surprisingly. Let me run that back. I am very picky with like reactors that I actually like. They have to like fit certain boxes for me, and most of them come off as pretty fake or just uninteresting to watch live react. I think live reacting is kind of a lost art and kind of more of a business nowadays. Just do you think you'll watch The Dragon Prince? It's the only series that captures the same feelings as Atlas for me. I'm not gonna lie, I have never heard of The Dragon Prince. It just goes with the guts build in Souls games. Perfect taste. You already know, man. Will I watch the One Piece Netflix live action? Thoughts on the cast? Will I watch it? To be honest, probably not. I will probably wait for Christian or Eric to tell, or Sen to tell me about it, and then determine based on that whether or not I'll watch it. Do you know who our TV is? RTTV. I probably watched their videos and didn't like them. I that sounds familiar. I can't put a like a face to any of them. But I've probably watched live reactions and didn't like it. What does the thumbnail mean? A snake versus Disney? Hold on. I feel like this thumbnail was very obvious. I even put the verses in there. Hope there are at least some good memes that come out of live action. Oh, you already know that. Just look up their name on YouTube if you don't remember. Oh, uh, let me see. Oh yeah, hell no. Yeah, hell no to these guys. One of my favorite YouTube videos to watch right now, Yu-Gi-Oh videos, because I play Yu-Gi-Oh. Other than that, Elden Ring videos. Have I checked out Spy Family? You already know that's my shit. I've been preaching Spy Family for like a year and a half now. A snake versus Disney sounds like Katie versus the Mickey Mouse allegations. Yo, the Dragon Prince series. Okay, I'm actually gonna open a tab. The Dragon Prince. What's it look like? I'll I'll open it on the side. We'll see. I'll bookmark it. You clearly didn't make it obvious that people are asking what your thumbnail is. It's a snake versus Mickey Mouse. Toon Force, yeah, it's Luffy versus Kaido. You watch Swag Kage's Yu-Gi-Oh videos? Swag Kage has Yu-Gi-Oh videos. The answer is no, though. I have not watched Swag Kage Yu-Gi-Oh videos. Let me see here. Uh, mm, have I seen Vadi's Elden Ring lore video? I have. Yes. Have I watched Joseph Anderson's Elden Ring video? Yes, I have. Actually, I talked to Christian about it. What are your thoughts on Jack from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds? Dude, I don't even really remember Jack that much. Like, I have more memories of Jack from Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged than I do Jack from the anime for 5Ds. I'm not gonna lie. Who is the biggest tuber? Anime tuber? Well, probably Giguk, yeah. Giguk Nux, maybe? I don't know. Thoughts on Neon Genesis Evangelion? I haven't watched it. Actually, I watched the first 6 episodes, but I didn't finish it. I just kind of like forgot about it. I remember I was in a Berserk server and they were talking about One Piece. It tripped me out a bit. Yo, young. That sounds kind of wild, actually. Have I played Last of Us? No, I have not. I don't. I never owned a PlayStation outside of a PS3 and a PS2. So yeah, it's still alive, Christian. You already know me, your boy. I'm fucking Jizzy. Dritz, what are your opinions on the Luffy Usopp argument? Not critically, but as far as do you agree with Zoro and or do you think Luffy should have also apologized? Um, I mean, obviously I agree with Zoro, but do I think Luffy probably could have apologized, but I mean he basically kind of did by accepting him and like stuff like that. I don't know. It's kind of weird because they're both upset. They probably could have apologized to each other because Luffy was obviously in the wrong as well because the way he handled it was just incorrect. But they were both in the wrong, and that's kind of what makes it good. So, what are your thoughts on Nux? Um, I mean, I have thoughts on Nux, but I mean, I don't really know the dude. I mean, so it's kind of hard for me to really say much about him because it's like an outsider looking in. What's a video game you're looking forward to playing? Doesn't have to be new. Um, a video game I'm looking forward to playing. I don't really have one right now. I'm like I play the games that I like. I play Smite. I'll play Apex every once in a while, and I'll play the Souls games. That's about it though. Like I don't really play anything else. Who would win at you versus Taekwon and Yu-Gi-Oh? I would actually love to see that. Well, I don't know how good Taekwon is in Yu-Gi-Oh. I know he played Duel Links, but Duel Links is an actual Yu-Gi-Oh. So I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna make an assumption on it. Yeah, Marco needed those glasses. Bonjo. What are your thoughts on Nux as an outsider looking in? I'm not getting in trouble. I'm not getting in trouble, dude. I'm not saying nothing that can be taken in a different way. Not on stream, at least. Fortnite Battle Pass. Yo, what's up, Quietly? You ever get into the Elder Scrolls and or Fallout? I liked Fallout 3. I played Oblivion. I never played. I played 30 minutes of Skyrim, but I basically never played Skyrim. So that's kind of the extent of my Elder Scrolls and Fallout experience. Who is the One Piece YouTuber you've watched the most in total? In total? I mean, historically speaking, it's probably Joy Boy because I used to watch all of his videos numerous times whenever I was first getting into One Piece and stuff like that. And Eric, I'm not saying nothing. I'm the opposite. I play a ton of Skyrim yet to actually put time into Oblivion. Yeah, well, that's just how it goes sometimes. I mean, it's not really ironic, Jared. I always liked Oblivion. It's archaic by today's standards, but it's still a game that I enjoy. Oblivion memes are top tier, by the way. Yo, long live Kaiba, man. That's my guy. Seto Goater. Clunky games do have a charm to them. That is true. Yo, why are you asking me an Amber Heard question, bro? What is that? I do not listen to podcasts, no. I assume you're talking about Ricardo, KG, but yes, I do plan to read Ippo. Controversial Hunter x Hunter opinions. I've kind of shared these before, so it's kind of like just repeating it. But I've gone over and said before that for as much quote unquote complexity there is within the magic system for Hunter x Hunter, I've said before that I don't think Hunter x Hunter has a truly great fight or standout fight to make use of its magic system. And in that way, Nen is somewhat overrated for me. Bio putting up Durant numbers. That is crazy. You reading Vagabond? Not now, but I will. Which mangaka draws sword fights the best? I mean, you can't really ask me because I mean I haven't really read a whole lot of sword fighting manga like that. So my my experience is very limited. Like I haven't read the Kenshin manga or anything, so I can't say anything about that. I haven't read Vagabond, so can't say anything about that. All I really got to go off of is like the shit that I've already read and like Berserk and stuff. So it's like not a whole lot to go on. Yamato from One Piece or Naruto? Naruto easily. Come on, man. What are we talking about? What about Corolla versus Hisoka fight in the manga? It's not that good, man. The fight's not that good. It's hype to start it out, but like the actual fight itself, I mean, it's kind of like the point of the fight, but that doesn't mean I have to like it, which is the fight's kind of meh, you know? Not bad. I don't think it's bad or anything, but it certainly is underwhelming. By the way, Kyrie basically said this 3-0 ain't like the 3 versus 1 versus Golden State because of LeBron. Wait, what did Kyrie actually say? Who is the best shonen artist for me personally? So, whose art style do I like the most out of the shonen authors that I've read? Um, hmm. Well, once again, this goes also how limited I am with the art, but because I haven't really read a whole lot of shonen. But probably Horikoshi. You said different situation, different teammates. Uh huh. What do I think about the Dark Con and Hunter x Hunter? I mean, there's not really a whole lot to think about it. It's I'll say that for me personally, the like along with the Jing talk to Gone, the way that the world opens up after that conversation is like one of the best things that I've read in terms of like oh my god, this expands the world so much. Like, oh, how did we miss this? It's amazing. The Dark Continent itself, I mean, it's great in as an idea. I can't really say much more outside of just memeing about Hunter x Hunter not continuing. But I liked it. Kyrie is what Skip Bayless thinks Pippen is. Yo. Also, sorry, Tesla. You said the Dark Continent arc. I thought you just said Dark Continent. Oh, as far as the boat arc goes, unlike other people in this chat, I actually like it. I have issues with it, but I'm more interested than I am disinterested, I'll say. But this will probably conclude the stream for today's boys. Chat's drying up. It's been 3 hours, so I've already gone 30 minutes over my standard. You know what I'm saying? I will be uploading this stream, so don't worry. It might take a day or two, um, but I will re-upload the stream. But thanks for everyone for staying around. I do appreciate it. As always, I don't know when I'm gonna stream next. Could be when there's a big chapter. It could be a month from now or something like that. Who knows? You guys know how I am. But I appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys next time.